Show off. This one for my real good gal them. Yeah. Glow up. Show off.
Hi Soul Family, how y'all doing today? It's been a while. I haven't been on the Sweet Tea Show for a minute. As you can see, I've been doing vlogs, making connections with people, but I am back for more advice. And today is, I'm gonna, cater it to the spiritual people that be watching me, and like, you're on your journey already, but now you're at the phase where you wanna like go back to your human experience. Like, remember, like, you're on this earth for a reason. Live like a human, be yourself. So this is for y'all out there, because it can be hard. I feel like the hardest part about also being on a spiritual journey is going back to like that human experience. Like, remember, like, I'm a human at the end of the day. Like, I don't have to keep my head in the clouds all the time. So this video is about intertwining your spiritual self and your human experience to make it more easier for you, because a lot of people, they open up their third eye, or they become very spiritual, but they start moving different. Like, they exclude themselves from their human experience. And if you experience that, or somebody that has, like, exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm not gonna lie, it is a struggle, because I see, like, for instance, maybe like a lot of rappers, or, well, actually no, you see it in a lot of celebrities. Like, they speak about the things that's going on in the world, right? But they kind of become suicidal, or they I don't know, like, to explain it, like, they kind of move different. But in some cases it does come to suicide, because a lot of people cannot handle it, or it's like they don't know how to switch their mind back to like a normal state. So hopefully this video helps those that are in that phase. I was that, like, maybe a couple of months ago, and it's like you start seeing people different, like your friends, family, whoever you meet. It's like, I can't really relate to ya. I feel lonely in this state of mind. Now that I awaken, and it's like you want to flip back the switch so you can actually relate to people, but why don't you just intertwine it, So hopefully this advice helps. This is all I have for now, because at the end of the day, I'm going off of experience. This is what I experienced. This is what I've done to make it better. So yeah. Number one is realizing that there's duality in everything. Like, say for instance, somebody comes to you for advice, a friend is venting to you about something. Maybe you haven't been through it, or maybe you have, or like you can relate to it somehow, right? Now, as a spiritual person, you're quick to like, give advice and solutions to the problem that the person is going through. Like, if they're going through depression or whatever, you start talking about energy and your 7 chakras and all this type of stuff. But you have to realize, with the duality, not everybody's gonna, be on your level, your vibration. Not everybody's eye is open, so you cannot go straight into like, okay, this is the solution, this is what you need to do, blah, 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 blah. Try to relate to the person. Like, okay, think about it. Before you were into all this spiritual stuff, you were once where they were at. So go back to relating with them on that. Not saying that you have to lower your vibration, but like, give sympathy towards the situation. Like, most people just want to vent. They don't really want advice. Or if they do, give it in a way that they understand. Like, on a healing perspective, Yeah, like, try to relate to people without becoming their spiritual teacher, And as a job as a healer, you want to be there for somebody, right? Without, forcing spirituality on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's free will at the end of the day. Like, give your little advice. Like, for example, somebody comes to you like, hey, I'm going through a little hard time right now, depression, anxiety, like, can I just vent to you real quick? Sure. Don't have any judgment in your mind. Even if you feel like, okay, this is what is wrong with the situation or whatever, don't be quick to give advice unless they ask. Because at the end of the day, number one, people are going to do what they want to do at the end of the day, especially on their own vibration. If you understand, like, everybody knows exactly what they know at that moment. They don't know beyond that. So you cannot, force nothing on nobody. You know what I'm saying? So, try to be really subtle with stuff. And if they do ask for advice, then you lay your opinion on stuff. But don't be quick to be somebody's spiritual teacher. And that also ties, actually, I was about to say something, but I'll go further into that later on. But yeah, everybody is on their own timing. So you don't really want to force nothing on nobody. Like, because at the end of the day, when you wake up as a person, you want everybody around you to wake up in a perfect world, right? But that's not reality. Like, you have to understand there's duality in everything. Yin, yang, balance. So, be that balance. Be a yin to somebody's yang. Like, just remember, relax. Like, and that will also, help you to connect with people more, or even stay in connection with your friends, because your friends might not be, on the same vibration as you, but you understand, like, there's duality and everything. So, you hang on to that, like, and when they come to you for advice, then you lay that on them, Don't be quick to lecture them like a parent, like, okay, you did this and that wrong. Like, they're still learning, just like you were learning in the past, and you're still learning. Everybody's learning in their different ways. So just have more patience with people, and don't be quick to tutor somebody on what they should be doing. Because, yeah, especially if you talk about all this, chakras and everything like that, it's like, what are you talking about? Like, they're not going to fully understand. So, yeah. And like I said, do not lower your vibration to fit in with people. Just remember the importance of duality. Okay. The next one is number 2. Spiritual escapism. Now, this is a big one also, because once you are, on the spiritual side, 5D world, you want to stay there in most cases, especially when life right here in the present moment is not going well for you. Like, say, you might have a tower moment, or you might be going through something right now that's kind of like unbearable. So you want to keep your heads in the clouds, and for example, like, you want to look at tarot readings 24/7, or instead of dealing with the situation, you just want to, do certain, and before I say this, I'm not knocking anybody, but it comes to a point where you tap into it so much, it's like you're kind of avoiding your human experience, and that's not healthy. Too much of anything, is not healthy. So if you go into too much tarot readings, or you go into doing so much spells all the time, or your head is in the cloud all the time, you're talking to your ancestors all the time, but you're not really talking to anybody around you here on earth, then that becomes like a little problem, because you're carrying it like a crutch. And you don't really want that. Like, you want to be able to, talk to your ancestors, talk to whoever in the clouds, but also talk to people here. Like, talk to your friends, talk to, talk to family, whatever. And I know what you're thinking, like, a lot of people are not going to relate to what I'm going through. Understandable, right? But you never know until you try, number 1. And number 2, if you can put your heads in the cloud all the time, then manifest some friends that are on the same vibration as you. And the only way to, go through those manifestations is, trying, trial and error, connecting with people, getting more comfortable with people, putting yourself out there, because how can you meet somebody here on earth for a friend that's on the same vibration as you, but your head is always in the clouds? You know what I'm saying? So really take time to really, focus yourself back. Like, sometimes I have to catch myself, like, okay, my head is in the clouds too much. Like, come back to me, come back to my zone, remember who I am, remember why I'm here. Like, do all of that, because it could really take a toll on you, and then you forget, like, you know, you're a human here to have a human experience, and it kind of just, you know, ruins the whole thing, where it's just like time has gone. Like, you don't want to look back and be like, you know, time has gone by and all I did was just stay in the clouds. You know, all I did was just stay to myself and isolate myself because I was afraid to go out there and try. You know, so try to really connect with stuff. Go out in nature more, you know, get a pet. I don't know, something where it's like to keep you grounded here. You don't want to keep going and trying to escape whatever reality you're going through now, because things may get hard. Like, I'm telling you, it's balance and everything. So you want to really make sure that, like, you ground yourself, because and even so, like I said, too much of anything is kind of like a downfall. So if you do all this spiritual stuff all the time and you're not really recognizing, like, hey, come back to earth, like, come on, we got stuff to do, then you might go back into a depressive state, you know. And that's what also causes the suicidal thoughts, because you're not handling both in a proper way. So what you gonna do? Yeah, it's like you're running away from your human experience instead of embracing it. Because if you really is awakened, you would know that we chose to be here. You know, whether you realize it or not, we chose to be here. So if you chose to be here, you chose to be here for a reason. Embrace it. You only have one life to live. As humans, we tend to run. We tend to run from our problems. That's why we cope with other things. I mean, not to compare it to anything, but it's like, okay, if somebody is depressed, they're gonna go to alcohol. You know what I'm saying? That's just an example. So it kind of ties in where it's like, if you're going through an uncomfortable situation in your life, then you're gonna run to the 5D world and, you know, to forget all your problems. It's kind of the same. It's kind of the same, because you're kind of using it. You're dependent on it to escape. Spiritual escapism. And we all know the world is not perfect. So, like, we have to embrace the life we have to embrace the life that we are living now, and just be like, you know what, I'm here to make the world a better place. But I cannot do that if my head is always in the clouds. Like, we have to always remember that we are two dimensional beings living here and living in the spiritual realm. You know, when you go to sleep and everything, your dreams, blah, 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 blah. You don't always want to be daydreaming all the time, because you got stuff to do down here, okay? You got to make a change, starting with yourself and spreading out to other people. Live by your words, right? Is that how you say it? Make your actions speak louder than words. All right. But yeah, having gratitude towards yourself, like, okay, I made it this far. I have appreciated myself enough, you know, I appreciate that I took the time to learn who I am as a person, open up my third eye in the first place. Now it's time to move forward and experience my spiritual self in this human experience, and see how that goes for you. Because life, it is what it is. Just take it as that. All you have to do is just flow with it. That's all you gotta do. And number 3, the last one I want to add, it's not really, well, actually no, it could tie into that, but it's the spiritual ego. Once you are spiritual and you realize certain stuff, and you realize certain stuff, do not go into a spiritual ego where it's like, okay, I know this, you don't know that, I think I'm better than you, blah, blah, blah. Now you know. Any state where you at, it don't matter if you woken or unwoken, you ain't better than nobody else. Don't matter what knowledge you have. If you feel like you're a chosen one, a healer, like I know all this stuff about myself, but I'm not gonna go out into the world and act like I'm better than everybody else, because nobody's perfect at the end of the day. No matter how chosen you are, no matter how healed you are, like nobody's perfect. So don't go out into the world and go into that spiritual ego and now you're judging everybody around you, because it's just gonna leave you in a very low vibration, and nothing really is gonna go right for you if you proceed to act in that nature. Like, okay, you're spiritual, you're woken, you are healing, you are doing this and that. Embrace that for yourself. Have gratitude towards yourself. Have gratitude towards everything around you. And like I said, duality. Because not everybody's healed. Not everybody's at the state where you're at. So don't go judging somebody. Like if somebody's gossiping, or if somebody is doing something you don't like, or you now as a person maybe used to do it back in the day, but now that you don't do it now, so you see people doing what you did back in the day, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna judge them for that, even though you was in the same place maybe like a month ago. No. Because like I said, everybody's on their different timing, but just accept everybody for who they are. You're not bigger than nobody. I don't care who you be, like you're not bigger than anybody. So accept everybody for who they are. Move on with it. And if you don't like what somebody's doing, then simply just don't associate with them. It's that simple. But don't go judging somebody because you feel like, okay, I'm healed, I'm at this place, I'm spiritually awoken, so that's beyond me. The attitude, that ego, ain't gonna get you nowhere. Just like you gotta accept everybody, accept your own ego, become friends with it, but don't try to do the most. Because like I've met people like that, where it's like, okay, I'm spiritually awoken, so now I've put myself on a high pedestal, and it's just like, y'all are some peasants. That's not how that go. That's not how that go. If anything, use your spiritual self to help people, but don't feel like you're above them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not worth it. It's really gonna mess up whatever you're manifesting for yourself, because you're not in this grateful energy. You're not giving gratitude towards everything around you. So yeah. But yeah, that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that helped. And the more I go through life in my spiritual journey, I will have more tips. But that's what I went through, like, you know, recently, all these emotions and stuff like that. So I really hope that helps. Like, if you're struggling, just remember, intertwine them both. There's duality and everything. Like, you could be spiritual and still go out and have fun and party. Shoot, I do. If you see me, I be turned, okay? But I'm still spiritual, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm spiritual, but I still hang with my friends and do hood rat-ish. It's duality, baby, you know? Because I'm not finna change my human experience because I'm spiritual. If that's what I used to do back in the day and I like to have a little fun, I'm going to still have a little fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no limits to this. There's no rules. It's just you and love. As long as you're spreading love, baby, do what you want. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta change up your hairstyle, your look, your sayings, whatever you used to do just because you're spiritual. You have to change your heart, of course, but that's it. Like, you could still drink, you could still party, but in a healthy manner, spreading love. I don't know who needed to hear that, but do you, baby. Do you. As long as you're comfortable with that change, as long as you're remembering there's duality and everything, and accept life for what it is, always give gratitude, and boom. The rest is free will. Like, do as you please. If you spiritual and you want to dress all sexy and everything like that, showing off all them curves, do you. Okay, there's no rules to this. Like, do you. That's all I have to say. If you can accept everybody for what they doing, and the world is gonna do them at the end of the day, then do you. Because that's part of accepting your human experience. You don't have to cancel out everything that you did in the past because you're spiritually awoken. No, just intertwine the two. I'm spiritual, but I'ma still whoop your ass. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. Don't whip nobody ass. But you get what I'm saying. You get what my point is. So, yeah. Hope you enjoy, and I'll see you on the next one.